So again, just reminding you, and again for the sake of the video, that 1 foot equals 12 inches. Okay? That being said, if I was to say I have 4 feet, essentially that is 4 times 12 to get 48 inches. Okay, and again, or I can write it with 1 ticky versus 2 tickies. Okay, but 48 inches is the same as 4 feet. Okay, just like if I was to say, going back the other way, right, what if I had 60 inches? Remember, inches into feet, and maybe I'll put that back up here, right? Feet to inches, we multiply by 12. From inches to feet, just remember that we divide by 12, okay? So now I have 60 inches, which means it's 60 divided by 12, and that's going to give us 5 feet. All right? So just real quick, I want you to tell me what 3 foot 6 inches. I want to know what this is in purely inches. No feet, just all inches. Right? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 3, remember feet into inches, 3 times 12. And we should get 36 inches. Well, then I just add the extra 6 there, right? Because apples to apples. And I'm left with 36, 37, 38, 39, 41, and 2, right? 42 inches in total. If I was given the 42 inches first, I would then, inches to feet, divide by 12. That being said, how about this? If I was to give you 56 inches in total, I want this into feet and inches. Right? So again, remember, inches to feet, I divide by 12. So 56 divided by 56 divided by 12, right? 56 divided by 12 would give us 4 feet. Right? And by the way, I'll show you what I did in my calculator. Okay, so I went 56 divided by 12, right? It gives me 4 feet. There's the 4.6 something, something, something. I'm going to minus that full 4 out of there because I've already dealt with it. Now I'm left with a decimal of a foot, right? I'm going to times this now by 12 to get my full inches. Right? Does that make sense? Sort of, kind of, a little bit. Right? Try, I'm going to get you guys to do these ones. You're going to do, let's do 7 foot 9 inches. I want this in all inches. And then I want 126 inches into feet, inches, and fractions if need be, right? Because you notice how with the 4'8", I didn't need any fractions. They were very even. So go ahead, try that. Okay, so for the 7 feet 9 inches, I essentially got, I believe I got 93 inches. So what I did, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just realized what I did there. That's 7 feet 9 inches, not 7 inches and 9 inches. I don't know if anybody picked up on that or not. But so essentially what I'm going to do is I want this all in inches. Well, this 9 is already in inches. So I'm going to leave that baby alone and just worry about the 7, right? So in this case, 7, remember feet into inches, we times by 12. So it's 7 times 12, right? And again, in your calculator, 7 times 12, you get 84. 84 inches. Now we just take that 9 inches that's been hanging out, add that onto it, right? Plus the 9, and we get 93 whole inches. 93 inches is the same as 7 foot 9 inches. All right. That was my final answer. Now this one is in full inches, but I want it to come back into feet and inches like we have here, and possibly some fractions. All right, so in this case, again, inches to feet, we're going to divide by 12. So 126 divided by 12 gives us 126 divided by 12 equals 10, right? There's the 10.5, so that's 10 whole feet, but I still need to figure out what my inches and possible fractions are. So I'm going to remove that 10 whole feet out of my calculator, minus 10. It's left with the 0.5, but that is a decimal foot. 0.5 decimal feet. Again, feet to inches. Times it by 12 to find out my whole inches. And we got lucky. It's a whole 6. Whole 6 inches. So 126 inches is the same as 10 feet and 6 inches. All right. Either way is fine. Just like I said, sometimes for accuracy, especially if you're yelling numbers across a job site, it sometimes can get confusing if someone's like, cut me something at 10 foot 6 3/4, where it's easier to shout out the whole number of inches, right? 126 inches and 3/4. Right? It's just a little easier, more accurate. I've had people that you're yelling out the feet, inches, and the fractions, and somehow something gets lost in translation. But if I say, cut me 126 3/4, that's a lot easier. Now, I want to show you something with adding and subtracting this sort of stuff. Okay, so say I was to have, let's see here. Oh, okay. So adding and subtracting. Say I had something like this. 5 feet and 11 inches. I'm going to add that to 3 feet and 9 inches, right? Add those up, right? 11 plus our 9, we get 20 inches. 3 plus our 5, we get 8 feet, right? Now, I wouldn't really say 8 foot 20 inches, because 20 inches is far more than 1 foot. Right? I always want to give my inches as something less than a foot. So essentially here, this 20 inches this 20 inches is like saying again, right? Taking our 20 inches and turning it to feet and inches. So 20 is 1 foot something. Hang on. 20 inches to feet is divide by 12. There it is. 1 foot and something inches. I'm going to remove that whole foot. Left with that. And again, I'm still a decimal of a foot, so I need that foot into inches. Again, times by 12. There's my whole inches. Right? So that 20 inches equals 1 foot 8 inches. So I have to add that to my 8 feet. Right? So essentially, I'm left with 9 foot 8 inches. Okay? You would never express like this. Right? Always your inches section is going to be less than 12. Always less than 12. Right? Now, what if I was to do this? Let me turn the page for a sec. Okay, so let me give you a subtraction one. I have 8 foot 6 inches minus 2 feet also 6 inches. Okay, again 6 minus 6, well, I'm left with 0 inches. 8 minus 2, I'm left with 6 feet. Okay, so 8 feet 6 inches minus 2.5. Sorry, my bad. I was going to call it 2.5 feet, which it's the same, but 2 feet 6 inches. We're left with 6 feet and 0 inches. Nice and easy because it's just like our whole numbers in a sense. But what if I gave you this one? I have 6 feet 2 inches minus 2 feet 8 inches. I can't take 8 away from 2. So I have to borrow a foot from this section over here. So I'm going to take this 6, turn it into 5 inches. 5 feet. But I'm going to take that 1 foot that I took from here and I'm going to add it into the inches, but I can't just say 2 plus 1 because that's apples to oranges, apples, oranges. I need to make that 1 foot equal 12 inches. So I'm going to take 12 inches and add it to 2. Right? 2 plus 12 more inches. So then this equation is going to read like this instead. 5 feet now and 14 inches minus 2 feet and 8 inches. Now I can do this. It's the same thing. Do you remember when we had to borrow during our fractions? Same kind of idea. We're taking that equivalent foot but turning it into its equivalent inches, right? So 12 inches is still the same as that 1 foot. So anyways, now we can take our 14, right? 14 minus 8, we're left with our 6 inches, and 5 minus our 2, we're left with our 3 feet, right? So just so you guys are aware of that one. What time do we got? 24, eh? Let me give you one more of these, 2 more of these types of questions here. Okay, so let's do this one. 7 feet 5 inches plus 3 feet 7 inches. And I want you to do, yeah, all right, we'll go this one. 2 feet 9 inches minus 0 feet 11 inches. Right? Try those two out. Okay, so let's try this one. So this one's an add, right? So our 7 plus 5, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 inches. And 7, 8, 9, 10 feet. Right? But 12 inches is also the same as 1 foot, right? Right, so instead of saying 10 feet 12 inches, we might as well, because again, remember that also equals 1 foot. So we might as well just call this 11 feet. Right? This one here is our subtraction. Again, we can't take 11 away from 9. Right? So we're going to borrow a foot from over here. Change that into 1 foot. Now that 1 foot becomes 12 inches. So we say 9 inches plus 12 more inches, right? And now we can read this question again as 1 foot. 12, what, 21? 21. Am I right there? 21? Real quick? Yeah. 21 inches minus 0 feet and 11 inches, right? I certainly can do this now. I'm left with 10 inches and 1 foot. Did anybody get that or something different? Everybody's grooving there? Awesome. All right, one more, and then we'll call it a night. Just because this one popped up in my book, and I thought it was kind of wild. All right. This is our last one, folks, and then I'll let you go. 5 foot 6 7/8 inch plus 4 foot 8 3/8. I kept it easy. They're both 8s right there. So first thing I'm going to do is kick myself in the ass for doing this so late in the evening, and then I'm going to start to calculate. So first things first, I'm going to look at those fractions, right? So apples and apples, so it's essentially just going to be 7 plus 3, right? 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to drop that down here real quick. 10 over 8 for my fractions. 8 plus our 6, right? 8, 9, 10, 14. So I've got 14 and 10/8 inches. 5 and 4 is 9 feet. But here's the thing. Remember I said calling this 14 inches is not really cool because it's kind of already over a foot. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking to myself here. 9 foot 15. Yes, okay. So see this 10 over 8, remember our impropers? right? Remember the impropers? So if I had 10 over 8, 8 goes into 10 once, right? Again, maybe it helps to look at it this way. 10 goes into 8, or 8 goes into 10 once. 1 times 8 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. So again, remember, there's our whole. There's our denominator. There's our numerator. Right? So there's 1 and 2 eighths. So my bad. I misspoke when I said this one right away. Right? But I've converted that 10 over 8 into a mixed fraction instead. But I'm going to take that 1 and 2 eighths of an inch and add it on to the 14. Right? So plus 14 inches, and it equals 15 and 2 eighths, well, which is essentially a quarter. Right? Where am I at? I'm getting myself discombobulated here. Yeah, okay. Guys, I'm just going to pull this down into its lowest, if you don't mind. 2 goes in 1, 2 goes in 4. All right. So I need to take that 15 and a quarter. Remember I said, here's where I was talking about 15 inches. We're just going to turn that into feet and inches. So 15 inches. Remember, there's 12 inches in a foot. So there's at least 1 foot in here. All right, so 15 and a quarter equals 1 foot, right? 15 minus 12 equals 3. So I'm essentially left with 1 foot, 3 and a quarter inches. But I also have to remember about that 9 foot, right? So add that back onto it as well. 10 feet, 3 and 1/4, whoops, 1/4 inches. That, it seemed a little messy to me. I hope I didn't just destroy someone's brain. It was one that it's one of those things that, and I don't know if you guys go through this, that when you do it without talking at the same time, it makes sense. But when my brain and my mouth are trying to do things at the same time, it doesn't always come out clean. Right? But it is on video, and hopefully you guys got that one. Right, so again, because I had this improper fraction, I had to turn that improper fraction, and again we're on video, turn that improper fraction into a mixed fraction, right? But because I'm still dealing with my inches, once I got that improper fraction into a mixed, I also had to add in the other portion of inches that were over there, right? Get all my apples together. That then gave me 15 and 2 eighths. I asked, guys, do you mind? I just want to bring that fraction down to its lowest. But again, 15 inches is more than a foot. And we do have feet that we're dealing with, so we want to make that all congruent. So I took the 15 and a quarter inches minus 12 inches, which equals a whole foot, because I can only get 12 inches into 15 once. And it leaves us with 3 leftover or remaining inches. Add on that quarter, right? Plus the 1 foot, 9, and there you go. Replay that a couple times. All right.